a whole wall of players in front of him, like as you can see here, Pro side. Bunch of players on this side.
Pro did incredibly well to start the competition, qualified through Heat 1. He was quite high up there in the standings as well. I can't remember exactly where it was.
He was first, day one.
He was first, he won it. He won it there. I knew I recognized his name being very high up there. So
Bodeside's one of those players as well that you see in like every tournament. And I looked through a lot of his placements for prep here. Most of them not in finals. But he's like a staple of the EU region, but he doesn't actually perform that well most of the time when it comes to finals. Last time in summer, it was I think 63rd that he ended up playing. So definitely a player that's much more of a qualifier performance. So we'll see if he can actually carry that through when it comes to the finals now.
Yeah, will this be the time when Podesai can, you know, show off what he really can do? Queasy's still way deep in the storm here, but he does have some heals to keep him back up. Grapple, so definitely not the easiest of mid games for him. He doesn't actually have any shields, right, which is going to be very, very awkward moving forward. So the Norwegian Prodigy is going to have to make a play, but it's Mr. Savage. That's one of the best things he does.
Yeah, hits the Chrome Splash, starts to go for the rotate, looks for a pad if he can reuse it, but there's so many players on that far side. We'll see if even half of them manage to make it through, and this is what they'll be rotating through into. Flixie, cheat shit. A bunch of the top players in the entire region sitting out. I think Flixie hands towards Vidil yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is one of those awkward positions you get in. Vidil obviously needing to deal a bit of damage there to try and get his surge up, but not the most ideal of spots to do it in where so many eyes are on him. Now focusing attention onto a former teammate of his in Reason.
He's got slippy shoes on, seems like. Reason one of those players are going to jump straight in the box. Yes, he goes up and it's the one pump onto Vidil. So Vidil's game over.
Completely changing the momentum of his game and the momentum of that engagement. It looked like Vidil was the aggressor, but then Reason just turned around and said, hold on a minute, buddy.
The one to spray him. Notice his HP draining down. That is because Sturb is active. So at this point, he's going to have to do anything he can to get tags. Makes a peek, and Chicho is going to be the one to finish him off.
Yeah, Chicho will be very happy about that, and he quickly gravitates over towards that loot. I think Gripey wanted to try and get it as well. Obviously, he spotted that elimination happening heavily. Right, I think his mentality was, look, I got my surge, I'm above, I don't want to take an engagement, I don't need to, but look, Marine there was sitting on such low HP that just even a warning shot would have been enough to pick up another LM.
Now that zone's starting to move, so, oh, there goes Marine. He had no HP, decided to go for a leisurely swim, and unfortunately get picked up. Savage also hitting the pad down to no HP, he's also Queasy goes down too! This entire side of the zone, nearly every single one of them picked up on rotation.
All hell's breaking loose over here, all these players just going at each other, and it's not looking good at all. Sweeze is trying to manage to get his way on in, and he might run into Tilton on the way. It looks like it will, and it will be his demise. Tilton has been one of the few players in that side of the map to actually be able to survive the whole thing. But will that be the case as he gets into the zone here? Barely sneaking his way in, but with 5 HP, he has some eyes on him, and he's going to have to just create as much space as possible. But even with that space being created, there is still pressure being applied.
He managed to place the full metal, so that's his biggest chance to be able to go up the floor, sprayed through too. He's been dropped down. Now, great choice trying to manage to get himself away, building himself almost 3 boxes, but no! Going to be picked up from a far distance, and he's now out from game number 1.
That will be the end of his run, and a trend that we saw with all the players in that area was none of them really had much of a run to begin with. All ending. The zone will start to police, and that's going to be a very interesting one. Of course, there will be a lot of players that will just sort of grapple and glide their way through across to that area. But for the ones who can't, will they be able to manage to run their way on in? You can see Mappy taking a look at Scram and Wolfies. They have quite a journey to go. And they're going to have a lot of eyes on them as well as they move.
Yeah, you have to see Mappy won 3 games in the heat that he managed to qualify out of the 7. 3 elims to his name already, so he's basically one of the best picks to see how we start off. Moving zones go. Cammy up in the sky, hits the double dip of the pad. He's the last one up in the air, but also Ziandi. No clear high ground has been established yet, so it's free pickings for someone who wants to land on it.
Yeah, but who will that player be is the question. We're seeing a bunch of all these different big names here just gliding around. And we're seeing in the back of the zone, some of the players may be looking to try and finally start to make their move. Siren making his way on in there. A lot of players low, gliding around. Players even being taken out on their way to the zone. And no one's still looking to establish themselves as that player.
Yep, Mappy still up in this as well, managed to pop the big, gets himself up to big HP, but no, blocked twice from the mantle. That's going to make him the slow mobility wasted all the way through. Now the mats has to go down. He's wasted every single one of his hard mats at this moment, but the great solo player that is, he knows the angles he can look up to try to pick a shot, but the focus also comes on out onto him, so he's going to have to try and take something happen here because minimal materials left to his name. He's not going to be able to survive much longer without a refresh.
He is fishing, he is hunting for someone around him. T-Chips though up above is going to be the one in the favorable position. We saw Nebs maybe looking to contest it for a second. It's going to be his job to make sure that nobody really looks to try and take it. There will be players gliding around him, but he has to be on it, he has to be on point, he has to hit his shots, and that's what he'll do there, scaring one player off. If anybody just looked up, they'd see if he was on a single ramp of wood, and now is the time to connect, and that's the best time to do it. But can he continue to hold?
Yeah, the problem right now is so many players are still going to be padding, still be flying up into the air that people are going to go for height. And Mappy, one of those players, game winners that we mentioned already, one trying to make the play to win it, going up to high ground, but he gets chunked back and Chips isn't going to let it down. He's on the wall. He's managed to take that, but Mappy, great disengage to get himself out now, down to 27 builds. Yes, he's managed to yet again get out, but no, he's chunked down to 77 HP. True, the great angles played in the backside of the zone to hide, dip away, but Siren's the one going up for high ground, but no, Mappy's claimed him.
Mappy has been an absolute titan in this lobby. No fear, we've seen him in uncomfortable spots and he gets taken now trying to heal. He thought he had a moment to breathe, but Seti has taken that moment away. It's the reigning champion of this competition, and right now in game one, he's looking in prime position to take first place.
It seems like it's his tournament to win right now. He's still got many materials left to keep walking, but every single player at the front side of the zone's got to look up. Picks up one onto Siren, two, another player looking for high ground. He's going to have to see what he can manage to pull off from this spot.
Seti is a monster. He is on one. His teammate Cammy's just fallen beneath him. He doesn't know that, but he might just spot the loot, and I think he did. There wasn't much for him to take there, so he's just going to keep on putting some pressure on this lobby. He really sits in a nice spot, but he doesn't have the materials to maintain this spot. He's going to have to hit some big shots.
He's got nothing left to his name. He's going to have to start sliding around on top of other people's builds. If one player starts to look up to high ground, that player's T-Chips yet again, he's going to have to start to go for that fight and engagement, but yes, no, he's managed to play things slow. He's managed to get up onto high ground now. Still no mats for him. The drop down shot managed to get into his baby. Doesn't get it. Chips picks up the elimination.
He picks it up, Seti goes down, and you can see he was very low on materials himself. There was a battle of the zero build players, but T-Chips comes out on top. He regains high ground control, and now it's time for him to close out the game, but there will be players in his way. Podesai sitting very comfortable. He's got 2 eliminations already, and he has his eyes set on a player there beneath him. But will he be able to hit the shot? It's going to be about not overstepping his ground and making the best of what he's got. He's lurking, waiting for someone to walk into his sights.
Yeah, for him it might be a how many good games can we string together, not necessarily how many victory rounds can we pull. But Janice, now the players start going up for the high ground. One of the only players we've seen with actually some form of good materials, and this could be the win for him coming through into game number 1. He's in the commanding position. He has the med mist, no heals, minimal mats. What can he do?
T-Chips couldn't contest it. He just had to let him have it. And so Janice now is the one that sits above high, and Hellfire is going to be picking up another, and it's going to be Janice trying to stop him. A clash here between two very good players. A 90 build up, and it's going to be Janice looking to just control that spot, and that's what he'll do. Hellfire couldn't find the space, and so down he goes. Gripey up on the ground. Can he hit that shot? He picks up one, isn't able to complete the elimination, but he's going to keep on moving.
Yep. Down to almost no HP on low ground. Gripey still has something to work with, though. Hellfire has some hard materials still in the metal. One of the only players left with that. Everyone else, almost nothing left. It's a 1v1 situation. Gripey, Hellfire, and Janice. One of these three is time to win.
Hellfire couldn't take height, and now he's trying to claim low, but Gripey stands in his way. They will sort of draw at each other. You can see Gripey looking to create a pathway, clear some space for him to move through as the zone continues to pressure him. It's going to be about whether or not Hellfire can sneak in. Janice just has to wait from above and make it awkward for these guys and swoop in and pick up a victory royale. But Hellfire and Gripey down below. Who's it going to be is the question. Who will be the winner in that battle? And will Janice just be able to sort of hold on and wait them out?
Hellfire's in the worst spot. He's in mid-ground. He's got one above, one below, all angles, all eyes on him, but all shots up. He connects, he hits a max damage shots. Now the 1v1, it's Hellfire versus Janice left up on high ground. He's got the med mist, and he's going to decide to play zone. He's jumping back, he's got time, up on height. Janice also has the med mist. This is a battle of time. The heals going off, back and back, down to 10, down to 5, nothing. He's found him, he knows where he is, but can he chop through? Can he get in time? Does he have the more white HP? It starts to tick down, they're playing the time, and no, Janice gonna win game number 1.
There was about 1 second between. Who currently sits below. He's going to have to patiently wait for his opportunity to get back involved in this.
Very patient stuff here.
Yeah, these are one of those fights where, like, both players are going to take it, so no one wants to be the one to make the move and it be the wrong move. Ooh.
Vidil coming in with the shots, and the
Okay.
big elimination from Vidil.
T-Chips was one of our players last game. He did incredibly well. He had 6 eliminations, more than any other player. But now, he's going to be right back to the lobby.
Of course, maybe struggling in that previous game, but a great elimination early off spawn. Of course, he can use all of the heals that these vaults have to offer. We see so many players rotating into these, even after they've already been opened, and enjoying what's left. So for Vidil right there, that's the net gain for that fight. Of course, getting the 5 elimination points that are on offer here as well, as we take a look at Eclipse, taking some shots against Wolfies, get some tags as well. We saw some players going down to Surge in the previous game. How important will that be now? Floki in his natural habitat down here at Chonka Speedway, and of course, a big elimination coming through. Huge shot with that purple prime.
Yeah, Flokito, one of my personal favorite players. Haven't seen him do too amazingly in solo competitions like these, but definitely have seen him at Chonka Speedway for the majority of this chapter. Is going to have to try and conserve them as best as possible. And I think he is sort of looking around and realizing, look, I am probably the highest one up. Maybe it is going to be something I should look to play. Not something that he's accustomed to doing. He's not the kind of player we often see playing up on height. But when the time comes, when duty calls, you have to make the difficult plays sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, iDrop landing all the way at the Chrome Jam junction at the north side of the map. So he's made a huge rotation. That could be potentially why he has the slightly lower material count. Of course, no heals as well. So it's going to be tough for him to hold down the high ground. But Tilton, of course, we saw a huge clutch from him just a few moments ago to get himself above the Storm Surge. But unfortunately, his heals, his health situation is not like quite looking so peachy. 2 eliminations, though he's going to get the damage. And
Oh, no.
The mats, they're 0. They're gone, Levin.
He only had wind left, and even that is shambles, but he's found a player. We've seen him do it before. Will he do it again? Can he break his way in? He doesn't have much to work with. The Storm's against his back. He's been coned in now. He just has to break through. The Storm's going to take him out, and Tuna will pick up that elim. And we saw Tilton survive in a scuff situation before, but that was too much for him to handle. But the game must go on. Janice now has his eyes set on the rest of the lobby. Who can he take out? Where can he see any vulnerable players? Floki's over there. He's not started moving, and this player's whizzing by him. He's going to have to start making his move towards the front of the zone now.
He is indeed. He's looking for the plays. He's looking for that high ground as well. He's definitely trying to stay on an elevated layer, using that grapple glove to do so very well as well. He's looking back in the Storm as well. And look who's up on the high ground. It's Pink all the way up there. And there's the player that used to be sort of synonymous with the high ground, him and Anas. But now he's decided to take that crown back, as we haven't really seen him play to that as much this season, of course, with the high ground Titans. But Hen on the mid-ground layer, 3 eliminations for Hen. He's popping off.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to get 3 more. There's players lurking in the back of the zone, and Hen hit the shots. Hits one there. 22 damage isn't going to be enough to pick it up. He needs to do more, and he needs to get a move on himself. He does have some material to get there, and will use the movement, the mechanics, to try and slide his way on past all of these players that sit in front of him, getting off that layer as well. There was way too many people. They're way too clustered, and now he sits in a good position. But with his mats dwindling, Hen will have to hit a shot.
Hen will have to hit a shot indeed, but of course, if anyone can do it, it is him. We saw him solo clutching so many times in the past, and now this is solos. He's on his own. There's no one else to have to carry. This is Hen's situation now, and Pink all the way up on top. Only got the wood left, though, so he's going to have to try and look for a refresh sooner rather than later, or maybe one of the other players will look up for high ground. He's just trying to apply as much pressure as possible down onto that second high ground as Ziandi goes down there in the feet. Frizzy taking him out. Seti getting eliminations as well. He's just trying to apply as much pressure as possible, because this is what can happen as Pink has to give up the high ground. He has to drop down. He has to surrender with only 2 bills left.
He got caught unawares, Mini, and height's been taken from him. He's lost so much as a result of it. Robin, the Swede, I talked about him earlier. He's now in one of the prime positions in this game. Janice has a player in his box. He is going to quickly get out of it, and as he gets out, he walks right into another box, which is taking him down. It's the end of the run for the German, but now, Robin up above, what can he do? Can he continue to force all these players below him to fight? Floki has a player in his box. Everybody's just trying to get side by side. I don't think he's too comfortable there, but he has the edits. He hits a shot, and he can't hit the last one to complete it. Hutty will take him out, or Hutty Trash is the one that takes him out. But the game again will continue. So many players down below Mini, and all of them are going to have to start to collide at some point.
Yeah, Huzzy Trust, they're going down. Of course, Frey now down on the low ground. We saw Roban all the way up on the high ground, but Frey gets the elimination onto Gavix right there. Huge plays from him, but he needs that refresh. He needs to get the mats. He only has one build left. He doesn't have any white heals either, so this is going to be huge, but Frey hits his shots. Frey does what Frey does best.
Frey is on fire right now, but can he continue to do what he's doing in this game? Can he keep hitting the big shots in the big moments? There will be opportunities there. There are players down below on this layer. Clement might be his next victim. Comeback is also down there as well. But for Roban, this is one of the easiest games he would have played all season long. He can just sit up here on high and watch as they all fight. Frey needs to start making a decision. Can he clear out the players beneath him? Roban might be out of reach, out of access. Clement, he's not working with much. We've seen this story before. No builds, but can he hit the shots he can't? And a clean-up situation there for Comeback. But Roban's trying to do the same thing himself, and it's going to work. Roban picks up game number 2.
Actually watch this year, you can keep a close eye and be like, look, his performances have been better and better and better and better.